Hello, this is Bill Jarrett. We're doing Cisco Lab 3.4.3, which is configuring inter-VLAN routing. What we're going to be doing first is we're going to configure two switches. One is a VTP server, and the other is a VTP client. We're going to configure three VLANs of the VTP server switch and propagate the information to the VTP client, and then configure VLAN configuration on router A, and configure inter-VLAN routing using a router on a stick configuration, and lastly we'll verify connectivity between the VLANs. So to start off, we're going to need a couple switches and a router. So without further ado, let's go ahead and grab a hold of the router and two switches. There's one and two. Okay. And to configure this whole mess, of course, you'll need a PC. We'll throw them out here inside for the moment. Then, according to our instructions, it says that we are to hook up our cabling, straight through cable, from router fast Ethernet 0 to port number 2, I believe. Let me double check. FA02 interface on switch 1. Okay, we're all set there. Looks right. And then we have to use a crossover cable to connect the two switches together. And it says that we should connect them port 1 to port 1. So we'll go from fast Ethernet to fast Ethernet 1. That's done correctly. Then we're just using our PC. It's not connected to the network in any way, except that's through the console cable. So you can actually do the work. So that's the purpose of the PC. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do excuse me, is configure the router. And we want to basically rename it, call it router A. So I can do it right here just by saying router A, but I won't. I will go through it the old-fashioned way. But normally you can just go right here to hostname and just type in router A, and there it is. But I'm just going into the command line interface, get started that way instead. So we'll go ahead and throw an enable, configure terminal, then we'll say hostname router router A, just like that. Just want to make sure it's configured correctly to the name of the way how it's spelled on the instructions. Okay, looks good. Alright, next up, we need to set all the privileged passwords and all that good stuff, so we'll go ahead and set that right now. So we'll start by enable password. According to the book, it's supposed to be Cisco. Then we're going to enable secret, and that's supposed to be class. And then we can do our linecon 0. And we'll set the password for that to be Cisco. Okay, then we'll go in and let's see here. Oh, set login. There we go. And then exit out of there. Then we can set our VTY. TY04. Password Cisco. Allowing exit. Then line VTY. Come on, you. 515. Password Cisco, and then exit, and I think that should pretty much do it for all the passwords. Okay, exit, copy, run, start. Okay. So, let's see here. Configure with host name, console, telnet, privileged passwords according to the table diagram, which we've done. And now we can start setting up the interfaces. So we're going to configure router A, fast Ethernet port 00 interface, which is what we're plugged into to connect us to the switch. And we're going to configure that to be trunk line for VLAN 1. Which I haven't set yet. I need to actually set VLAN 1 before I do anything else. I'm thinking. But that all happens on the switch, so... Okay, I think we're good then. Alright, so let's go in and configure trunking on our router. Go back into global configuration mode. We're going to configure interface FA0/0. Okay, now we can say no shut. And it's showing its status up. Good. And then we're going to configure interface FA0/0.1. Now we have a sub-interface established. We're going to go ahead and set encapsulation. Dot 1Q1. Now we can set the IP address to be 172.16.1.1 with a subnet of 255.255.255.0. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of there, out of the sub interface, which brings us back to global configuration mode. Now we'll set up another sub interface on fast Ethernet 00. FA0/0 dot, it's 10. Yep, 10. Okay. Hate it when it does that. Lose my place. Encapsulation dot 1Q10. Okay, I'm going to set the IP address. It should be 172.16.10.1. Subnet of 255.255.255.0. And we can exit. And then next we have to set up a .20 interface. So from global configuration mode, again, we're setting up another interface on fast Ethernet 00, like that .20. And we're in sub-interface mode, so set encapsulation again. Encapsulation dot 1Q20 And then our last IP address should be 172.16.20. .1 with a subnet of 255, 255, 255, 0. And we can end throughout our traditional copy, run, start. Okay. Oh, darn it. Try that again. Copy, run, start. Okay. Whew. Now we can go over to our switches and start playing over there. So we'll start at switch 1, open him up. The same thing, go to the command line. Well, I see switch 1 there. I'm going to have to set his host name up. But, okay. The first thing I'm going to do is enable him. And then I'm going to get into global configuration mode. And I'm going to give him a name of switch 1. Just because I'm picky that way. Okay. Next we're going to set up all the passwords, which is going to be enable password. Oops, forgot something. Enable password Cisco. Enable secret will be class. And then we can go into line con 0 and set the password there to Cisco, and log in. What else? I think that's it. Exit. And then line BTY 04 password Cisco, line VTY 515 password Cisco, exit. Oh, and then interface VLAN 1, VLAN 1. Okay, now we can set the IP address. I think. Telnet passwords, configure. Yeah, IP address. It's going to be 172.16.1.2. No shut. Oops. What? Oh, I'm missing it. So, oh, darn it. IP address 172.1.2.255.255.0. Can't get lazy. Okay. Okay, state is up. Good. Alright. Then from here, after we've done that, it says that we can create VLAN 10, call it faculty, and then create VLAN 20 and call it students. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and exit. I'm going to say VLAN 10, and that'll be name students, or no, faculty. Exit VLAN 20. Name students. Exit. Now that I've created those, I can do a little bit more configuring. Configure switch 1 with the default gateway address of 172.168.1.1. Oh, okay. Well, so let's go back to interface, VLAN 1, IP default gateway. That's where they make you do this out of order just to screw with you. And this is going to be, they want set as 172.168.1.1. Okay, exit. Let's save all my changes so far. Oops. Went too far. A little class. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Alright, didn't lose anything. Good deal. Next. Configure switch 1 with the interfaces FA5 and FA6 on VLAN 10. Alright, no problem. We'll just go in and set this to global configuration mode. Now that we're there, we can start off by configuring interface FA05. We'll start setting switch port mode. Access. And then switch port access VLAN 10. That should do that one. We can exit. And then it wants me to configure number 6. The same VLAN, so we'll do the same commands. Switch port mode access again. Or first interface. FA0/6. And switch port mode access. And then switch port access VLAN 10. Alright. Go ahead and exit out of there. Now we can set up interfaces FA7 and I believe that's 8 on VLAN 20. So same commands, just substitute numbers. Interface FA0/7, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20, and then exit, then interface FA8, switch port mode, port, there we go, mode, access, switch port access VLAN 20, D. Man, my fingers are... Alright. And exit. Next, instructions call for... Okay, I can do my copy run start now. And... Okay, copy, run, start. Alright. So switch 1 set. So it says now configure all other interfaces on switch 1 in VLAN 1. By default, there's only a single VLAN for all ports. You cannot rename or delete VLAN 1. No kidding. Therefore, no further configuration is necessary. Yeah, we already know that. Alright, show VLAN brief. Well, show VLAN brief. Yep, there's port 1, or VLAN 1, and we see that port 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the 9 through 24 are all inside 1, and that's because it's the default VLAN. And the ones that we named, which is 5, 6, 7, and 8, are in their appropriate 10 and 20, which is faculty and students. Okay. Next. We've already seen this before, but we'll have to do it again. Show VLAN, which will have extra information, which is all down here at the bottom, that the other command did not have. Okay, next up. Configure VLAN trunking on switch 1. Now we have to configure trunking between 1 and 2 with 802.1 encapsulation using port Fast Ethernet 1 on both switches. Okay, so we'll go into switch 1. And make sure I'm in the right mode here. I think I am. There we go, global configuration mode. Now, let's start by configuring interface 1. A0/1. This is basically the Fast Ethernet cable that's stretched between switch 1 and 2. So we're going to make it a trunk line. Okay. So now that we've entered the interface, we can say switch port, change the switch port mode to trunk. It says that it's now down. Okay. And then we can say exit. Close that. Now we go over here to number 2. We notice that nothing is communicating. So we'll open him up. Go to the CLI. Enable them. Give them global configuration mode. Now we're there. We can say configure interface. Boy, oh boy. Oh, we're not there yet. I'm way ahead of myself. Go back. Alright. Apparently I'm jumping ahead. So I've set that to trunk. Now I'm staying in switch 1. Hell with it. I don't care if I'm jumping ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Alright. So we do the same thing. Play with that interface for a minute. FA. You can always come back to it later and play some more. Alright. Switch port. Load. Trunk. Exit. Okay. Hey, look, they're communicating again. Imagine that. Okay. It would drive me nuts all day if I didn't do it now, so. Alright. Back in global configuration mode here. Let's see, I just finished setting up Fast Ethernet port 1. Well, now I'm going to do the same thing on 2 and make that into a trunk line as well. So, I'll type in interface FA0/2 so we can configure that, and then set switch port mode to trunk. Okay, done. Good deal. And then end. Copy, run, start. Okay. So now I'm going to take a look at the interfaces that we have by throwing the show interfaces trunk. And as we can see, all of our interfaces right there, FA1 and FA2 on switch 1. We see that they're both 802.1Q, which is what they're supposed to be. And then on, we see each of the ports. Oh, wow. And it looks like everything is working just fine. 1, 10, and 20. Alright, good deal. Everything looks wonderful. Alright. Next, we're going to configure VTP on switch 1. And we're going to throw in a VTP domain statement. Got to remember how this works, but it's VTP domain group 1. I did something wrong. What did I do? Oh, that would help. Global configuration mode. There we go. VTP domain group group 1. Okay, so now it's a member of group 1. Alright, and now we're going to set this switch to be the VTP server. So since we're here, we can say simply say VTP mode to be server. Now automatically the other switch should turn into be a client, but we'll check that in a minute. Alright, I'll go ahead and type in end. I'm going to copy, run, start to save everything. Boy, these are long exercises. Now we get to go over to switch 2 and go play there for a while. So over on switch 2, we already set him up right. As far as his switch port mode being trunk. So now we can play with everything else. So let's take a look at our running configuration right now. Alright, our current configuration. It's just called switch, so we need to change some things around. All we have is switch port mode is set to trunk so far, and that seems to be it. Nothing else is set yet. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set some things up. So I'll start with conf t. Okay, host name will be switch 2. Okay, now switch 2. We're going to have to set all the passwords. So we'll say host name. Or no, wait, do that. Enable password. Oh my goodness. Cisco. Enable secret. class. Let's say line com0. Password Cisco. Login. Exit out of here. So my DTY04, line DTY 4. Password Cisco. 515. This with my fingers today. Password Cisco. Exit. Okay. Oh my goodness. Should now we have to set up the interface for VLAN 1, I believe comes next. So interface VLAN 1. Give it an IP address of 172.168.1.3. Subnet of 255.255.255.0. Throw a no shut. Oh my goodness. Alright. We'll set our default gateway next. Okay, so I can get out of this. Oh no, I need to be in that, damn it. Alright. VLAN 1. Alright, then I need IP default gateway. At least they did it in order this time. 172.16.1.1. Okay. Fact, let's just get out and save this for a minute. Darn it. Configured from console by console. Alright. Okay, so copy run start. Okay, now we saved everything. Now we can start setting everything else up. Okay, let's start by configuring interfaces 5 and 6 on VLAN 10. So, conf T, back in global configuration mode, and we can start typing. So, interface FA0/5, configure that one first. Set his switch port mode to access. And then we have to type in switch port access VLAN 10. What is going on? Oh, that's tricky. Doesn't tell you have to create the VLANs first. That's what happens when you get into just following these things blindly. First you need to create VLAN 10. Doesn't tell you to do that, it tricks you. So let's back up, see where we were. Global configuration mode. Get ready to configure interface fast Ethernet 5. Set that mode to be access, and then we tried to set the switch port access for VLAN 10. It wouldn't let us because it doesn't exist on this one. So apparently I need to create my VLAN 10 first. Oh, that's tricky. Okay, we can do that. Exit. VLAN 10. And VLAN 10 was for, what was it, students? Teachers, I forget. I'll have to go back and look. It's for faculty. Okay. So we'll give it name, faculty, and then we can say exit. We can say VLAN 20, so that'll be asked for next. And that'll have a name of students. Exit. Okay, now let's try doing that. Switch port access VLAN 10. So I need to go to interface FA 0/5. Oh man. Let's see, switch port access VLAN 10. Ta-da! Okay, I can exit out of that. Boy, I'm getting tired. Then we need to configure interface 6. 6. There's too many commands in these things, my god. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. Exit. We gotta do interface 7. 07. Was this thing gonna be 40 minutes long? Damn. Switch port mode access. Access VLAN 20. And then should do number 8. Interface FA8. Alright, and switch port access VLAN 20. Exit. Exit. Copy. Run. Start. Okay. Oh, so much fun all in one place. And I already, the next step it says to do is to set the VLAN trunking on switch 2, which we already did a little while ago. So now we need to configure VTP on switch 2. Shouldn't have to, but I'm going to go ahead and set it anyways. Conf T. And we're going to set that to be VTP mode client. Now we're in client mode. Okay. So they're going to say show VTP status. What is wrong here? Oh. Exit. Getting tired. Okay, show VTP status. Okay. Shows our current status right now. Here we go. Version 2. Number of existing VLAN 7. VTP operating mode is currently client. And our domain is group 1, just like we said. Okay. Alright. We can support up to 255 VLANs locally. We're using version 2. We're in client mode. We're in group 1 domain name. And how did switch 2 learn the domain name and VLAN information? Because it's the client. It automatically passes the information to it. The router and switches should be able to ping the interfaces of the other devices. From each device, issue a ping to all interfaces. Are the router pings successful? Fun. Okay, so we're going to try from the router to ping switch 1. First I need to learn the IP address. My brain is not working. Okay. IP address for our router. What is the Cisco? And I'm going to say ping. Switch 1, which is 172.16.1.2. And it's pinging. Okay, success. Then we're trying to ping 172.16.1.3. And we succeeded. Oh goody. Now we'll come down to this guy, do the same thing. .172.16.1.1. Okay, you can find the router. And that will ping 172.16.1.3. And it found it just fine. And we come to switch 2. And we'll say ping 172.16.1.1. Found it. Ping 172.16.1.2. And it found it. Okay. From each device, issue ping to all interfaces. From switch 1, ping to all devices. From switch 2, ping to all devices. Okay, so we have basically pinged the hell out of everything. Everything's connected, and this activity's done.